You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's America's Next Top Model After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's America's Next Top Model After Show.
Woo-hoo! Welcome, everyone. Bing is for doing, and we are all here doing the America's Next Top Model After Show for Cycle 19, guys. We are in the final episodes. 5 girls become 4. I'm Jackie Miranne, and I'm joined by girls all around the country to talk about it. We have our lovely Brittany Brower calling in from Vegas to chat. Hello there, Brittany.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi, Brittany.
And
I'm very excited about today.
I know, guys. I'm going to tell you why in a second, but of course, let me introduce the beautiful ladies in the studio, always holding it down for us when Brittany and I can't be there in LA. And we have, of course, Lauren, Alikona, and Erika all sitting there looking beautiful for the video cameras.
Thank you. We try. We're smizing.
Yes.
Yes, good. Smize it up. Well, very, very exciting news. Why I called in from a powerless New York, which I'm back in New York, and it's still not looking too good, guys, but that's okay because we're on the line. We're going to be talking to the eliminated contestant of the episode, and of course, I can't wait to talk to her. So many questions for Kristin. She will be calling in live very soon, and I know you all can't wait as well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Pumped.
Oh, yeah. So before we get to that, of course, I do want to say, we were just talking before the show started about, the fact that here in New York, I do just have to quickly say, if you want to go to my website, JackieMiranne.com, or go donate online, guys, I still don't have power. I had to find a place to come do the show for you guys. And, just coming from a New York perspective, I would just love your help in any way you can. You can find out more on my website. And you could also see the Louis Vuitton bag that I scored for under $70, right, ladies?
What?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
A little jelly over here.
Amazing. So anyway, I just had to get that out there because I couldn't talk about the show without letting you guys out there know what's going on. But I am so excited to talk about the fashion and the swimwear on this show. Beautiful Jamaica. I wish I could be there right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of crazy because I feel like, before we get into Kristin and the drama and, we'll be able to ask her about it live, it almost felt like there were basically 2 photo shoots in this episode.
Yeah,
right?
I like that.
Well,
yeah. I love it when they do those challenges that they have another photo shoot. It's almost like a bonus round.
And I know that Brittany and Erika have said this before. Like, you've talked about how you think it's frustrating to watch when the challenges are so not relevant.
Unrelated,
And this was very relevant. And I think it was like an awesome challenge.
It was cool.
I love that Tyra's afraid of dolphins, but we'll get into that later.
Right. Yeah.
I love this challenge. I love challenges that are actually not absolutely ridiculous. I thought it was a great kind of absolute, like a bonus, photo shoot. Yeah. I love working with the animals. I love dolphins.
Me
Another
too.
reason why I don't get Tyra. How can you not love dolphins?
I think that's weird.
They're like the most amazing creatures ever. Anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Or be like, I hate them, but you guys have to work with them.
Yeah, right.
Thanks.
I guess if you're Leila, you're not going to.
I was going to say, meanwhile, Leila gets knocked out by some dolphin on her leg. Poor girl. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's an example. There's always an injury. Actually, this was a minimal one for the girls, usually, Brittany, right? It gets worse than this. She was strong. It wasn't too bad. She could keep going, and she didn't cause too much drama about it. Tell me if that were Laura or Kristin or somebody, that wouldn't have turned into a whole, like, emergency room episode.
Well, Kristin,
Jackie,
I mean...
Oh, my God, that's what I thought, this exact same thing when I watched it. I go, oh, my gosh. You got slapped by the dolphin, obviously hit. I'm sure it didn't feel great, but please don't cry and make a big, like, emotional moment out of it. Right. And you know what? This is what made me love her even more.
Yes.
You know, I haven't necessarily loved her character. I just think she takes great photos. But when I saw her, like, you know, it hurt. I get it. It's a huge dolphin, you know. And she didn't cry about it or make a huge scene. I was like, okay, now I'm definitely on Team Leila.
Yeah, she just like let it go. She's like, you know what, it hurt. She took a deep breath and she moved on. Like she didn't want it to affect her photo or whatever. And I thought it was good. Yeah, she just kind of.
I think I think she really knows too. Like in some ways, she wants it so bad. And even though the girls weren't that into her being there, and Laura had a comment at the beginning of the episode saying it's not fair. She was gone and got to rest, and we've been here the whole time. But I think in Leila's perspective, she was given the second chance, and it's like for her, I think it makes her want it and hungry even more. But so she knows. I think she's smart enough to know not to make a big deal about it, to be cool about it.
Well, but speaking of stress, okay, fine, maybe they didn't have to do the challenges, but don't you think it's stressful not being on the show anymore and you want to be on it so bad? So obviously when she's going into all the other photo shoots, there's probably 10 times more pressure than the girls that are on the show.
For sure. Those comments that they were making about her, it not being fair, she fought at every photo shoot like those girls were every week. So I don't understand where do they not understand?
Guys, no. For sure. Let me tell you from the perspective of being on the other side. I've been on it, especially with All-Stars. I had to be that girl the entire season. I was there the whole time. It sucked. It's like the worst thing ever. You're like in the show, but you're not in the show anymore. Like it's.
Do they put you in a hotel? Are you living?
It sucks so bad. So I didn't feel for. When Laura said that on the show, saying, "Oh, you know, she doesn't know. It's not fair. She doesn't know the stress." I'm like, "Oh, contraire. It's way worse."
Are you living with the other girls, or do they put you up in a hotel? That's what I was wondering. Because I can see that being a little bit stressful.
We do not live with the other girls. You're off the show. You are. I mean, in this case, it's so crazy. I mean, it's so lucky that Leila, you get to do the photo shoot and still feel a part of it, because you know you can come back. So that's a great thing. But when you're off, I mean, I've definitely been. I was in Greece. I was in Greece for All Stars. I was there.
Oh my God.
So you know, I'm in there. And anytime they're out in public, we're there. So you know, you're a part of it, but you're not anymore. So it sucks. You feel awful.
And you're still competing.
You know, Laura's saying that, and especially if these girls have a chance, if they think they might actually be brought back, they're all so eager. So she deserves her place like no other. I mean, I think we all agree too. I don't know why she ever got voted off in the first place.
Exactly. Well, she even said it, and just to interject for a second, she said, I had one bad week and I got kicked off. And I think she said Kristin has had like a stream of bad photos and she's still here. So that was her fight, you know, basically defending her being there. And it's true. It was a very valid point. I agree with you, Brittany. I think we all agree. I think she deserves to be here.
Definitely.
I like that she's back, and she obviously rocked it this week. Which we'll get into later.
But did any of you guys notice, I don't remember if it was Laura or if it was Kristin that said it, but when Leila did get hurt, they were like, yes, or they were just like smiling the whole time. I'm like, really? Like, I understand you don't like somebody, but like they're physically injured. That's not a place for you to be like.
That's just cattiness.
You know? Yeah, I don't like that at all. Anyway. And it does show your insecurity.
Totally.
I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we all agree on that. I think we're going to have plenty to ask Kristin. I'm so excited that she's calling it, you know, because there's just between her attitude and the level of which she, you know, competed, I really want to know what she thinks of herself. I really can't wait to ask her that. And, you know, this episode, more than any, you know, you saw the girls talking about Leila. You saw Kristin really doing a lot of trash talk on this episode in particular, and I wonder if it's because she felt threatened. She knew she had the chance of going home, which she did. But let's not forget, Leila rocked it, and it's not about who's the cheerleader or who's not. Leila is someone I look at like, oh, she's not really a bikini body because she's that skinnier, high fashion model. But then she gets up on the dolphin and she rocks it. She killed it with her pose. So you can be anybody. I don't even think she was the strongest bikini model here at all. And killed it and had the best photo. Kiara, great body, great athleticism, another strong showing. I mean, Nastasia even looked great in the water. She couldn't get up and get the pose, but, you know, I thought Nastasia did great. I thought all three of them were actually stronger than Kristin and Laura.
By far.
Yeah, Kristin definitely, to me, she has a gorgeous face, but in the photo with the dolphin, she did look a little like it was a tourist picture.
Yeah.
Like it just, I think she could be so much prettier than that photo.
I do
she
too.
is.
Well, I thought Kristin was actually going to really be the one that should have knocked this challenge out of the park.
Agreed.
She is that
so
perfect Victoria's Secret, gorgeous face.
Sports Illustrated.
And for her to like got such a dead photo was shocking.
And it was so well, it wasn't
if you're
that
ever going to be, Leila in something, this would have been her chance to be, and she did not.
Yeah.
Her photo, Kristin's photo, the thing is, it didn't totally surprise me because, as Johnny said in the past, she's uninspired. Like, she doesn't really take that risk, or she doesn't have that creativity to come up with those poses. And in this pose in particular, exactly what they did not want is a tourist picture, and that's exactly what she gave them.
Yeah.
And I think because she lacks that creativity, and she is so beautiful, and she should have rocked it, and she unfortunately
she's
didn't.
Totally Victoria's Secret Sports Illustrated to me. So yeah, I was just like you said, Brittany. I was expecting her to really like flourish in this shoot, but I loved Kiara's stuff too. I will say she has a great swimsuit body, and I liked what she was doing. I mean, they were very sexy, or the challenge photo was a very sexy photo, but it's still very beautiful of her. And Leila rocked it though for being so high fashion looking. She nailed it, I thought, still.
I will say this about Kristin, though. I felt like the one where she was standing on the dolphin, like her body she was going in the right direction because she does have that like cheerleading experience or what have you. I'm disappointed that her face wasn't doing anything, but like she was coming out of the water so nicely, and then it just stopped like from here.
Her face didn't bother me. It was that hand up that did.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what she was doing with the body. Like the hand, or her body was. I mean, her body was fine. The hand up. Like,
I know what you mean.
Everything. She kept trying to make this hand up thing. Like it was like I felt like it was like a little 7-year-old posing for the mom's camera.
Yeah.
It was so posed. It was so like, look at me, I'm on a dolphin, and it was not working at all.
Yeah.
I mean, and I have not been, I know like Kristin's been, more of definitely the bitch this season, but I've liked her a lot, like her photos. I mean, she's a gorgeous girl.
Yeah, she is.
But she's definitely, for once, I actually agree with the judges, has gotten like weaker as it's gone on. The competition's gone on.
Yeah.
And even John, I forget who it was who said it, Johnny or somebody said, like, it just doesn't seem like you want it. Like, you just don't want it. You're so beautiful. You've got all the tools. You've got everything. Push it out. Bring it.
But maybe, sorry.
Yeah, she's just
I think Kristin is that real perfect example of pretty girl versus model. And I think at the end was the only time that I saw her saying, I want to prove that I can be the model. Just at the very end, but up until even through this challenge, it was like the head cheerleader versus, I just don't think she gets the modeling industry. I don't think she gets anything about photo shoots and all that. I think she just thinks being pretty is modeling. And I think hopefully this was an education for her to learn that the modeling world is a totally different world than just being a pretty girl.
Yeah.
And Laura kind of falls into that, but I think Laura actually even wants it more as far as the modeling goes.
Oh, yeah.
And
she does.
I think I have to give her props. Hello, her boobs came out, and she was just like, okay, whatever.
She was like, did you get that? That was cute. She handled that well. But I mean, I'm sure that kind of stuff happens all the time. I'm sure that, little accidents happen. Jackie and Brittany, I'm sure I've probably dealt with it before.
Oh, when you're a model, your boobs are just bags of fat. Who cares?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
If you're in the back of a runway show, everyone's naked and changing. It doesn't matter who's around.
Yeah,
you have to get the next outfit fast.
Yeah.
Your body parts don't mean anything anymore.
Exactly. That's just all out the window. It's like, whatever. Your butt is in the middle of the screen. Yeah, okay, great. That's Project Runway. Yeah, you can find my butt there. But anyway, the one other thing I want to say about Laura, too, is can we give her props? Because I think after the challenge was over, I think we can all agree Leila should have won that. Laura did a good job of not falling into the trash talking this week, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were saying, is she just influenced by Kristin? I think this proved it, that she was being influenced by Kristin. Maybe she realized something, learned something as it gets towards the end, but she did not partake in the trash talking, and that made me very happy to see on Laura's part.
I completely agree. And Kristin was really going for it. That moment after that challenge, she just like I mean, and she even said, I don't have a reason to not like Leila. I just don't. Maybe it's it's the sound of her voice that's annoying. Like whatever she could find to say, but she was straight like just laying it down on those ladies. And I think maybe Laura might have had a moment where she's like, whoa, this is kind of out of hand. I'm not going to partake in it. But I like that too. I like that she just was like, you know what? I'm going to stay out of it. Yeah. It was a little excessive.
I'm actually interested to see Laura now in the competition
without
Kristin a little bit in her ear. I mean, because I feel like, do you guys see that all her OTFs, like all those interviews she does are all negative? Like, I mean, now Laura is, and it's like, Laura, why are you so negative all the time when you've done really good?
Really well.
Yeah, you have no reason to be.
It's true, because you forget like how well she's been doing because she is so negative about it.
Yeah.
And she's so.
It's like, gosh, I mean, I thought you've been winning best photos and doing really great, and you've been doing really good, and you're still here in the competition. Right. You're now going to be Final Four. But like, let's hear something positive.
Yeah, be gracious about it.
Every interview with Laura is something negative.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is true.
Absolutely. And I think, I think getting into the actual photo shoot of the episode as well, she really was feeling it, that she knew she had to cut the crap, cut the drama, and just really go for it. And I think she would, this time when she was disappointed in the photo shoot, it was more from a place of, I really wanted to do well, and I know I didn't do as good as I could have. This was the first time, actually, with the drama that I thought it was deserved, and I didn't get annoyed by it. Mm-hmm. Because, again, it followed the trend of Kristin and Laura being weak in the photo shoot as well. And Leila, Kiara, and Nastasia, to me, all killed it in the photo shoot.
Killed it. I have to say,
photos.
Being a fan of Kiara this whole time, I was so glad to see her photo, because I've been a fan from her from day one. I've always thought she was beautiful. I always felt that her photos just weren't reflective of how beautiful she was and like her strength and what she gave. And this photo, and obviously Tyra picked it as like to be hanging up in her saloon or whatever she said. Like obviously this photo to me was my favorite.
On that photo is never going in Tyra's house.
I know, right? I thought about that too.
That cracked me up so much.
And I'm like, where's it going to go? Like in her garage? Like,
I know. Never. I was like, well, maybe it's because Tyra took the photo so that she can tell everyone I took this photo.
That makes sense.
I don't know. But you know what?
I still say no.
It was still an awesome photo for Kiara. I was so pumped to see that.
And I like that. I think it's working in Kiara's favor, because I do think that she's a beautiful girl. I think she was having a hard time showing it in photos, but that's modeling, and if you can't show your beauty, then maybe you're not that great at I don't know. I like her, but I am liking that the cards are falling in her favor right now, because this photo shoot, there's always a girl in this competition that, like, for example, Kristin with the cheerleading one, like somebody gets something that they're really good at and it's their strength, and usually they rock it, but sometimes they don't. She rocked it. This was like a warrior photo. She like really pulled that out of her. That's totally where she comes from, and the shiny jewelry.
Do you guys not feel? Listen, I agree with everything you guys are saying right now. It's finally a photo that I think it was amazing and it like worked good. I am on the opposite. I've never really been a huge fan of hers. But do you not feel sometimes that that's like where they're wanting it to go? Because I feel that Tyra, they're like really pulling for her for like, I guess they're a fan of her as well. I'm on the opposite end. I feel like it was like given to her as a strength, whereas Kristin gets a shower curtain to put on her head. I mean, I'm sorry, I got to play the devil's advocate and look at all the sides here. Like some people just get screwed.
Yeah, but you know what? In the past, I'm sorry, I got to cut you off, but in the past, how many times has Kiara gotten screwed? You know, we've talked about this as far as in the judging panel. Like she constantly was getting constructive criticism, if you will, kindly put, from Kelly about, well, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? And it's like all the photos they picked of her were stuff where she wasn't doing necessarily what the photo shoot had been asking of her to do. And I'm sure 800 other photos she was looking the right way or jumping in the air when she was supposed to, but they didn't pick that one photo. So this whole competition, I've been kind of saying, I feel like whoever's been picking the pictures, it almost seemed like they were going and picking just bad pictures of her on purpose. I don't know. So that's why I don't think that.
Yeah, I mean, unless she just gave a lot of bad photos.
That's like a battle we could always go through.
Yeah.
Even every contestant that's on it has been like, why did you choose that one?
Exactly.
That's the normal thing. But I'm saying is what I've seen from her work completely, I've never been thrilled about it. Like, I'm sure, I don't know why. I mean, I have to guess, like, the judges seem like they want to have her on it. Like, they like her. Like, Tyra obviously like really liked her a lot. So I don't believe that they're just choosing the bad ones on purpose the whole time, because I feel that the judges are actually in her favor.
Right.
So I don't see them picking a bad one on purpose.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brittany. I think they were definitely, on the judges' side, weighting it in her favor. Two things I'll say about it is, if she's at least got the go-getter attitude and she's going for it, then I think she does deserve to get that over Kristin. I think Kristin did deserve to get the shower curtain on her head because her attitude was so bad that it called for it. And I think, I don't necessarily think it was unfair. And, the other thing with Kiara that I will say on that side is, if this is her strongest week, I think it's like, let her have her moment to shine, because even in Leila's weakest week, she can, in my opinion, is a stronger model. But Kiara does seem to have the drive and does seem to want it. So it's almost like I'm fine to let her have her moment on the show.
Absolutely. And I want to say that I like her. Like, I don't have anything against her personally at all. I think I actually like her on the show. I like her character. I like how strong she is. And she came from a really tough, upbringing and had to be the strong person in her, sibling's life and be like the mom figure. I like all of that. So I'm not downing her as a person in any way, shape, or form. I'm just, I haven't seen like this amazing model that deserves the title of America's Next Top Model. Yeah. Do I like her? Yes. Do I think she's America's Next Top Model? No, I don't.
I do think it does kind of even out, though, because, Kristin in past photo shoots has gotten good. I feel like she's gotten good props or good, whatever you would call this. What was the photo shoot where they were, when the girls had to lick the floor?
Oh, yeah, and she was drinking the milk.
Yeah, I mean, I think over time, they can't give everybody the same thing, and it does even out. And but some are worse than others, some are better than others.
I will say this. I think that if you're a good model, and again, Jackie and Brittany can probably attest to this, no matter what you're given, sometimes, it's going to suck or it might feel a little more challenging, but those girls should be able to rock it no matter what, I think. And I think that if, a shower curtain on your head or not, and maybe she did deserve it, like you said, Jackie, but if Leila had that shower curtain, it could have been totally different thing. She could have,
I agree.
Who knows?
And I do agree about that. Okay, so here's what I was going to say. When the shower curtain kept falling off her head?
Yeah.
I thought, freaking believe it. It looked so much better. Like when her head was up, I was looking, I was like, that looks like a gorgeous shot. Yeah. Like when she just like, hey, if the water's going to take it off your head, don't fight it.
Yeah,
let it go. And then she'd make that face every time, like, oh no, it fell off. Like I was like, stop.
Make it work. Make it work.
Make it work. Let it fall off your head. Trust me, it was a lot better. You don't look like the Virgin Mary.
And that's the thing with these things too, is that it gives them the opportunity. I mean, in some ways, Tyra gave her props. Like said, oh, Kristin didn't complain, and she ended up giving her, I think, a 9 or a pretty high score. So in some ways, although like a harder, you could have been given something harder, you do have the opportunity to kind of prove yourself and show, hey, I don't complain. I'm a trooper. I can make this work. And so it kind of gives them a little bit something that they can push for.
They all seem surprised that she didn't complain too, because I kept pointing that out, and I was like, because I think everyone, based on the stuff that she's given us in these past episodes, would expect her to be bitching and complaining about the shower curtain, but I'm surprised she didn't.
Well, I mean, Tyra is there, and Tyra's taking her picture, so that'd be kind of just a stupid move to complain in front of her anyway.
Good point.
Last week, I believe it was. We said that. We said she's really good in front of the judges. She plays this innocent, sweet. I'm here to win it. She's in front of the judges, especially Tyra. So now, of course, she wasn't going to bitch in front of.
Right.
And I believe we do have Kristin on the line.
Okay.
AfterBuzz TV. Hello.
Hello. Okay. Hey, do we have Kristin on the line?
We do. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Kristin.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV, Kristin. I mean, we have so many questions for you. I don't even know where to start. Of course, I'm sure you know, watching it play out, you are one of the strongest personalities on the show this season. I'll just say that. And, I'm so happy we get the chance to talk to you and ask you personally, give you a chance to sort of, first off of that, just would love to hear your take on, the way your attitude was portrayed and the way you handled yourself throughout the season overall. I'm just dying to know what you thought of it watching the season back.
I'm dying to let you guys know.
Yay!
It'll be fun.
Hello? Are you there?
Okay. Jackie?
Hey, Kristin.
Oh,
can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So, you know, the first thing I really want to know is you obviously are portrayed as the tough girl. You've gotten into it with the girls on the show. You even left saying that all of them were fake. You didn't make one friend. You know, what do you think watching yourself back? Are you happy with the way that your attitude was portrayed and the way you talk to the other girls?
No, absolutely not. I'm not happy with how I'm perceived on the show. I can't stand it. My mom can't stand it. None of my Jacksonville can't stand it. But the thing is that everything I did on the show is totally everything I would do in real life. There's nothing that I said or did that I wouldn't do. It's just that there's so much of me that wasn't shown on the episodes. I am not a horrible person all the time, and I don't have a bad attitude all the time. That's just that they chose to show of me, and I feel really victimized by editing, and it sucks. But you know, I have friends and family here that know like how I am, and everyone that knows me knows that I'm not that way all the time. Watching the show sometimes even makes me cringe. Like, it's just so much negative all the time, and I'm really not like that at all. I mean, there's not much I could do because people are so, like, naive that they honestly believe everything on that show is how it really is. So it's been difficult watching it, and it's been difficult, like, dealing with a lot of negative feedback that I get from social media. But I mean, there's not much I could do. I stayed true to myself the whole time I was on the show. If people get their panties in a wad because I get a little bit frustrated sometimes and I don't know what to say to them, everybody gets angry, everybody gets stressed, everybody talks trash. They just chose to show me doing it every single time that I did it.
Yeah.
Hey, Kristin, this is Brittany. I've actually done 2 cycles of, top model episodes on cycle 4 and All Stars. And trust me, I get editing and I get all the stress, and I completely have been there with you, and I've, like, flipped on my best friend on the show telling her to shut up in her face. So I've been that way as well, but I have to ask, when you got eliminated, you went, I mean, those are some pretty harsh words, saying, like, you hate basically all the girls and you don't like any of them, you aren't making any friends, and you were just so happy you never have to ever see them again. Was that really how you felt? Was it just because of the emotion in the moment? Or do you really feel that way about all the girls? Or was that just obviously being upset about being eliminated?
Yeah, I just need to kick myself for saying that one. I've had this question asked so many times. When I sat down to watch it with my mom was like, I can see how angry you are right now. Like, she's like, I can just see it in your eyes. You're pissed off. You're over it. You want it to be just done. I had just gotten into an argument with Kiara, and I was getting eliminated, and I was just so, like, frustrated and confused with how the show was working, how everything was playing out. It was just, I was over it. So everything that I said in my interview, well, not everything, it was pretty much all true, but I did make friends, and I love Laura. I'm totally team Laura. I hope she's going to kill it the rest of the cycle. Alyssa, I've seen Alyssa multiple times. I know you guys did your interview with Alyssa, and I, like, watched the whole thing, and I was like, oh, that's my baby. I adore her.
Mm-hmm. She's cool.
Brittany, I talked to Brittany. I met some really awesome people when I was out there. I totally regret saying that I didn't make any friends. I don't regret saying that I'm glad I don't have to live with them anymore, but I did make good friends. I wish that would have come out a little differently. I was very angry at that point.
Well, Brittany did have good things to say about you. She said that you were the girl that you actually want to be your friend. She said that she wants you to like her. She said that you weren't as bad as what they're portraying. So I can see that.
So Kristin, you mentioned...
Yeah, I'm an Aquarius, which I tried to explain to the judges one time. Which means that I have so much love for everyone. Like, if I am your friend, I will be your best friend, and I'll be the person that will have your back no matter what. I don't care if you're right or you're wrong. I'll tell you that you're wrong, but I'll still have your back. But then if I don't like you, then you know I don't like you, and you guys have seen that, and the whole world has seen that. So I think I'm a pretty great person. I just think that everyone needs to get to know me a little bit better than an hour a week on TV, reality TV.
Kristin, I hear you. I'm Aquarius also, and I have the same personality. If I like someone, they know it. I love them. I'm loyal. If I don't like them, I'm not fake about it, and they definitely know I don't like them. So I hear you, girl. And I love that trait. I think that's a great quality to have. But you did mention that you were upset when you got eliminated because you were confused kind of about the process and how everything was going. What was it that you were specifically confused about, or what maybe about that process were you surprised or maybe felt like you were kind of thrown off guard about the competition?
I think at the dolphin challenge, I was just a little bit confused because I think I was confused because I was the only one that got out of the water, and I had the lowest challenge score. And I didn't understand if nobody else got out of the water when they're riding these dolphins and they couldn't get a picture, then I was just like, what are we getting scored on exactly? Because I thought we were getting scored on getting a picture, and if your face is covered with water, you don't have a picture. So I'm like, hold on, this is confusing to me, and it pissed me off, and wasn't thrilled about it, and I don't really like dolphins. I mean, I thought that I would, but not even dolphins in general, just like wild animals, which that show really has brought out my fear of wild animals and how much I don't like
the owl. I was
going to say, you were very terrified about the owl.
Hey, Kristin, this is Alikona.
I don't know what it's going to do. This is what I picture, is this owl freaking out and then me freaking out, which will make the owl freak out even more. And it's like on a leash, so it can't just fly away. It's just going to stay there freaking out, and I'll have anxiety attacks.
That's funny.
Stop, I don't know. It freaks me out a lot.
I say, Kristin, I have a question for you, just because I was a little bit confused, just speaking of confusion, with the format of the show. I know that they had the comeback thing and Leila came back, but at the same time, they still have you guys participating in the photo shoots all the way until the end of the show. Is there going to be like another comeback opportunity at the very last episode, or are you guys just taking the pictures so that way it doesn't leak who won the show?
We're just taking pictures to make sure nothing was leaked.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, everyone has to stay to take all the pictures and participate, just so little smart people can't figure anything out,
Gotcha.
Little sneaky ones out there.
Gotcha.
So, Kristin, tell me, what was your favorite shoot so far? Like, which one did you actually really enjoy? Like, you're like, oh my God, that was awesome.
I really enjoyed, there's two. I like the cheerleader one just because it was so comfortable for me. I was so in my element. And then I loved the milk one. I know they show me like being like, I just poured 5 gallons of milk on myself, but I mean, geez, anyone would be like, what the hell? I just poured 5 gallons of freezing cold milk on myself. So set the record straight.
No, I thought that was a good one.
Yeah.
I didn't seem like you didn't like that one. I thought that was good.
And it was an awesome photo.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite.
That one was so fun. It was like,
and Kristin, I had to ask you. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just have to know this because you are so blonde and you're so straightforward. I have to get your opinion on Victoria.
I was gonna. Oh.
God. Well,
and don't hold anything back. I want to know full details.
As you guys can see, I don't really talk to her that much. Like, everyone would be like, oh, Victoria, I'm worried about you. I want to make sure you're okay. Honestly, guys, I just couldn't even handle it. Since day one, I didn't. I'm not being mean, but I just couldn't handle it. Like,
No, I agree with you 100%. It's not being mean. I'll be mean. I think she's crazy and psycho and weird. I think she's a lunatic. So I can be mean.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, because we interviewed her and she was...
in here because I did interview Victoria last week, and I actually want to get the chance to ask you this, Kristin. She felt that she was being genuine, and she was very well spoken in our interview, I do have to say. And I think that she felt she was being genuine, and you guys, the other girls, were the ones who weren't. And she felt that she shouldn't talk to you after the show, like, for instance, on Facebook, because she felt that you guys were being the fake ones. And I know you felt that they were being the fake ones. So what's your response to that?
Honestly, I don't even care what anything Victoria has to say. Just because I didn't build a with Victoria in the house because I thought she was so weird. And I just didn't, I just couldn't even handle it. I couldn't talk. I don't like unnecessary things. I don't like if you're unnecessarily rude. I don't like if you're, why I cussed Kiara out. She was being unnecessarily enthusiastic about something, and I just was like, why are you freaking out right now? You know, I'm upset. I think you're being rude. I think that Victoria is just unnecessarily weird, and that's fine. I don't have to be her friend. I don't have to, talk to her. I don't have to do anything. But Victoria didn't like me, and I know she didn't like me because she was not very nice to me either. So it's not really, something that I sweat. But
Kristin, was there...
I mean, I think it's fair. You don't have to... Obviously, you don't choose to be put in a room with these girls, and I don't think everyone should come out being friends, of course. One other girl I think we have to ask you about, especially after this last episode, is Leila, because I know you obviously had some words for her. Do you feel, watching it back, did you really not like her, or was it maybe you felt competition with her, or what was your take on Leila?
I think that me and Leila were fine until the whole Laura thing happened, and then I was so out of nowhere. I was in this love triangle, I guess you could explain it with, and I had no idea what was going on. So I guess Leila had a problem with me, whatever. And I don't know. I don't think I liked her at the time. No. Like I said, it's so stressful once you get in the house. It pissed me off that she came back, but it would have pissed me off if anybody came back, just because we'd all been working so hard and still doing challenges and enduring all the stress of living in the house, and we just didn't. We weren't going to welcome the comeback girl with open arms and be like, yeah, come on. I'm so glad you're here, and now I have to work even harder because basically just wasted a week of someone getting eliminated since you're back, you know? So, and her voice did annoy me sometimes. It still does on TV,
So, Kristin, what was your, early on, it seemed like Kelly was a big fan of yours. She always said really positive things, which was awesome. What was your thoughts about the judges in general? Did you have a favorite one or someone you didn't like? What was your opinion on the judges?
My favorite judge was Kelly because she loved me. I mean, that's going to be my favorite. She, no, I like her because she's just, I feel like we're the same. She tells you how it is. She doesn't bullshit anything. She doesn't care if you get hurt by what she's saying because it's the truth, you know? That's how it is. I don't want you to sit here and be like, oh, this is pretty, but you could have done, but she'll be like, no, you look like damn giraffe that just parachuted from Venus and got stuck in a vacuum cleaner, some crazy shit. And then she'll be like, and this is what you need to do next time, and tell you how it is straightforward. So I love her. I have a soft for mean people. If there's an older authority that tries to be like Kristin and all stern on me, then I'll make sure I'll be like, but I just want to love you, and I just want to give you all my love and make you so happy. So it was a funny little relationship, trying to get the nicer, happier, more light-sided Kelly to come out, because she is awesome. She's so cool. She's not, I don't think she's a bitch at all like everyone says she does.
We have said that about you, Kristin. Oh, sorry.
I liked Rob. Me and Rob have the same birthday, which is kind of cool.
Love Rob.
And yeah, he's You know,
we have said that about you, Kristin, too, that we, or at least I know I have, that we thought that you and Kelly were very similar. And I don't know, you know, Kelly, she had a reality show before this, and so she's been always portrayed as that like really hard-edged woman. And obviously you said you felt that's how you were portrayed. So I do feel like there was definitely similarities between you. So that is a very interesting thing for you to point out. But what is the most like beneficial or amazing like advice that Tyra has given you that really stuck with you, that because I'm assuming you're going to continue to model, which I think you should. What have you taken from the competition, like advice or lessons that you feel like is just going to resonate and you're going to like use it for your advantage now that you have this information?
Well, I've learned so much from the show. I've had no modeling experience before I'd gone on it, so basically everything I was taught was new information to me. I just wanted to soak up everything. I remember Tyra telling me how if you like bite and clench on your jaw, it can like make your face, it'll bring out different muscles in your face, and could totally change the way that you look. Just like little things you can do, just like that makes such a difference in your photo. But honestly, everything that I learned, that's why it's like, when I was on the show, I had so much fun filming it, and I thought it was a really awesome, great experience. And it kind of sucks now that I watch it, and they make me look like such a bitch all the time. But no, I really do like appreciate being on the show, and I am thankful for like everything that I've got to experience and learn from it.
Well, you're a beautiful girl, so I think you should keep modeling for sure. I mean, but yeah, that's awesome that you felt like you had stuff to take away.
I'm sorry to interject, but I do want to ask if you do want to continue modeling. Is that something, because you said you were so new to it, you definitely learned, anything you learned was something new. Now that you've been through this experience, does it make you want to model in the real world, or what did it do to you from now after the show?
I definitely want to continue modeling. I want to be able to, I want that to be my career. When I was on the show, I really developed a passion for it, and I'm still so new, and I'm still learning so much. I have so much room to grow, but I think it's really awesome that I love things like modeling. That can be, it's fortunate. You're lucky if you're able to make that your career path, and I really want to pursue it. I know I have so much to learn, but I definitely think that it's something I can handle, and I like fast pace, and obviously I'm tough enough to be able to handle the modeling world, so I'm excited to see where I'm going to go with that.
So Kristin, then what is your response to some of the judges, or even Johnny, were saying that you came off like you weren't passionate or you just didn't want it badly enough? Do you feel like it just was misportrayed on TV, or do you think that maybe possibly something we discussed in studio was it maybe like a defense mechanism, or you were just like afraid to go full out, or I don't know, what's your response to that?
I remember when I was filming it, and they would tell me that I look like I don't care anything. It's not that I don't care. It's just it's hard for me to fake enthusiasm. You know, like I loved being on the show, and I wanted to win, but it wasn't like the end of my life if I didn't win that show. Like I'm still breathing, still here today, and I just didn't think my world was end. And there's like Kiara. That girl can get excited about eating food, for Jesus Christ's sake, and I'm like, I just can't get excited about it. I can't be fake about it and fake my like calm personality as not giving a shit. But then it's like frustrating because I can be so crazy that it's almost scary. I just can't fake it. Like when they want me to run around and act like a fool, I can't do that because I don't feel like running around and acting like a fool right now. Like, get me out where there's some music and some cute boys, and I'll have no problem.
Rob Evans was there. Come on.
I'm pretty sure we'd all enjoy that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's really good to hear, though, Kristin, that, I mean, and I'm one of the girls who watched the show myself and said, you know, had comments about your attitude and the way it was portrayed. And I have to say, I'm so happy to hear you live and to give you the chance here to have you tell everyone that that's not wholly who you are, and that you're holding your head high even as you watch it, and that you still want to continue modeling, and that you're thankful for the experience. Just to hear that, I think I really just want everybody who's an America's Next Top Model fan to hear this, hear you chatting here, because I think that's the best thing about it, is that no matter what you dealt with, you now still want to go forward, and you're a strong person. You definitely can. My advice to you, as we were saying it on the show, definitely go model in LA, right, girls? Because you will do amazing there. I think you will do so good there.
Thank you so much.
Yes, come on out, Kristin. I'll take you out.
Yeah, Kristin, hey, I have a clothing line here in LA, and if you ever want to model for me, I am down. You have exactly the look that we definitely look for, so I'm putting that out there to you, girl.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We need to get together. You guys, I feel like I know you girls because I watched when you interviewed Alyssa, and I'm like, oh, they're so cute. And I'm like obsessed with Alyssa, and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm near her right now because I can hear her voice. I don't know if that's creepy, but
so you did make friends, see?
So, thanks. That really does mean a lot what you say. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, is let people know that I'm not like a bad attitude person all the time, and just get myself out there and able to explain my side of the situation. And I'll definitely hit you up whenever I'm in LA.
Yeah,
we will take you out. Come to AfterBuzz, and we will show you the town, Kristin.
Well, I know Miss Brittany Brower has all the advice in the world for you, and maybe you could even hook up with Miss Lisa D'Amato. They run the LA scene.
Oh, yes, we do. I finally got my Lisa back. She was in New York.
Yeah, but definitely thank you so much for calling in, and you can call in any time in the next couple of weeks. We love to get your opinion as the show goes on, but we really appreciate you calling in, and I'm so glad you got a chance to speak a little bit, because we know how editing can be, and I'm glad you could join us today.
Yes, thanks so much, girls. It was awesome talking to y'all.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks, Kristin. Best of luck for everything.
Kristin. Yes, good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, ladies. Well, you just heard it there, exclusive with Kristin, and I have to say, I am so happy to hear her chime in a little bit. Yeah. Obviously, Brittany, we know how editing can go, so we know that wasn't the whole story. But no matter what she saw of herself, I think she definitely would take away, after talking to her, it sounds like she took away what you would want her to, and that's to, learn from it and move forward and do well. I think she took all the things we would want her to take away from it.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, when the cameras are on you all the time and you're stressed and whatever, you say a lot of negative things. I know I learned that lesson. I said a lot of crap, too. But, I mean, obviously she can see it. She obviously, doesn't really feel that way. That's good to hear. I mean, I think when we talked to Brittany a few weeks back, I kind of got an idea of, she didn't say really nasty things about Kristin, as what you kind of perceive when you watch the show.
Right.
So,
well, and Alyssa did say a lot of nice stuff about her, too. She gave us an interview earlier this season, and she was talking about how she felt Kristin was definitely misportrayed and that she was a sweetheart. And when she was eliminated, we saw Kristin tell her, like, I love you. And I know all of us were just like, oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
It goes back and forth, because you wonder, like, well, that you actually did say those things, and some of them were pretty nasty, but like they said, they pick and choose, and they probably decided at the beginning, in editing, okay, we're gonna move towards this direction with Kristin. We're gonna focus on this.
Right.
We're gonna create this character out of her. And obviously, it's what they do for most reality shows. They pick a villain, they pick somebody, and unfortunately for her, they chose to pick her as the villain.
Well, it's a 50-50 way. I mean, it goes both ways. If you got to give it to them, and then they got to jump on it. So she gave it to them, unfortunately, and they jumped on it. They didn't show her being nice, but she gave them the mean. So, I mean, it does suck that they didn't show the other side.
I totally agree, and I'm just happy to hear that she is not happy watching herself.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to hear, and that makes me happy. And I wish her luck, because I do think she will do well in, say, an LA market or a more commercial market. Because her face, as Tyra said, is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
She's a beautiful girl, and hopefully she learned a lot from the experience, and sounds like she did. And I wish the best of luck to her. I mean, You know, she's a fellow Aquarius, so I like that about her.
Oh, yeah.
Tells it like
Aquarius
it is.
in the house. All right. Well, hey, I have some news and gossip that I definitely want to get to, and I know Miss Brittany Brower will want to hear this one.
Yes, get to it.
Okay. So, guys, Miss Angelia Preston is in the news, Brittany, from your...
Yeah.
I knew I would get that sound.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. She's having a marriage war on Twitter this week, basically.
Crazy.
Calling out her husband for cheating on her on Twitter. My marriage is destroyed because of this home-wrecking, I don't even want to say the word, and my husband. While I'm out of town, my husband is running around with basic biatches like it's her. I guess that's her name. Yuck. But that's what he likes. And basically it continues on until her husband says, our personal life is not for Twitter. We both have too much class for that. And then she responded with one final response saying, why don't you stop effing this girl? Then we wouldn't have a problem now, would we? So this is the Twitter war going on, Brittany.
Wow.
Okay,
That's a pretty
I just step in right now? I have
thing.
to. Okay, this girl has zero class. I don't even know why her husband even said that. There's nowhere in her vocabulary or in her mind that she has class. Once I just tweeted when I was, do my Top Off series, and I was talking about her from the All-Star cycle. Nothing, just constructive like what we're doing right here on AfterBuzz. And she said, she went on Twitter about me and said, keep my name out of your mother bleeping mouth, you nasty bitch.
Oh my God.
Something like that. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? You're going to say that on Twitter?
Yeah.
Like, how? She's got zero class. This girl's disgusting. I don't even know how she ever made it on a reality TV show because she's hideous.
Well, that's why.
At least for Top Model.
That's why she made it on reality TV, because they knew that they were going to be exposing
I was
this.
Top Model. I feel like Top Model should be a little bit classier than that.
Well, yeah.
This girl has zero. She's a nutbag.
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, Brittany.
I love that about you, Brittany.
I love it too. It's
love it.
awesome. It's
I love
awesome.
I think Brittany said it all for us. I completely agree, Brittany. I think she is. I think even the Top Model staff is wondering what happened there because we still don't even know.
They did the right thing by kicking her off. They really did the right thing by getting rid of her. I mean, she really has zero class. She's not a nice person. I know her personally. She's a broken down, like she's like years and years of therapy to maybe be presentable.
Oh.
Well, this tweet was crazy.
I think we've tackled that one. And, this is just the latest example of Miss Angelia. But also, taking to Twitter, Rob Evans, we reported last week that he was in the news for being wanted by police. Mm-hmm. Now, I think him retweeting Jason Lee here is a good example of what we were all saying, which is he retweeted this message. How is the Rob Evans wanted by police who can't find him, and he's tweeting all day long? Haha. So Rob didn't comment necessarily, but he retweeted that.
Right.
So he didn't address it directly, but what do you guys think? I mean, I guess the story's just going to die out.
I think so. And Jackie, you said this last week too. I think you were like, I was just having a drink with him, so I know right where he is. Mm. And we all kind of talked about that's ridiculous. Yeah. So it seems like this story, like I even kind of mentioned, sorry, I'm Team Rob, I'm sticking up for my man. But I feel like he may, if there was some sort of an altercation, like he could have been defending himself. You don't know. He's a boxer and he's famous and he has money. And so whoever is on the other side of this fight could possibly be blowing it out of proportion to extort and get some money. And I think it's clearly not as big of a deal as it is coming out to be, because he is, you can find him. Yeah. It's not hard to find him.
Well, I said that too about him being on Twitter last week. Yeah. That I'm over here. Well, if you're really wanted by police, why would you be on social media?
Yeah,
he's clearly not that worried about it.
Yeah, something is not right.
The fact that he retweeted that, it's almost kind of saying like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You know,
do you really believe this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's your news and gossip. I mean, I don't think there's much going on with that. Let's hope not, because otherwise I was drinking with a criminal then.
He could break the law with me anytime.
Some predictions, ladies.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so guys, we're just getting weeks away from the finale here. Mm-hmm. Two episodes left, I believe. So it's basically, we're getting down to the wire. Let's predict some winners.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Nastasia. Sorry, I got to put that out. I think it's going to go head-to-head Nastasia and Leila. I think Nastasia is the quiet one coming up. Like, we haven't seen any drama from her yet. We haven't seen anything. Exactly. But, like, even the photo challenge of this week, I didn't really pipe in earlier, but I felt like she had the best dolphin photo. Not up in the air, but the one where she was just touching the dolphin. Yeah. Like, that nice balance. But either way, I think she's
okay. I think that if we're going on this whole like judges and things kind of skewing or pulling towards someone's way, I agree. I think Tyra really likes Nastasia, and I feel like it's gonna start going in her favor. But I think Leila's gonna be in there too. Like I think Leila's gonna win. I know she's not
I think Leila's winning all the way.
Yeah, and so that's my prediction. I know she's not super commercial, maybe not so nylon, but her talent is undeniable, and I just feel like she rocks every photo.
With Nastasia, I'm a big
nylon. I feel like she is definitely nylon.
Yeah,
oh, really? I don't know. I feel
like she's totally nylon. I
feel like she's way more high fashion than nylon to me. Nylon is a little bit more sex, in my opinion, than she gives. But I'm not saying she couldn't do nylon. Of course she could. I feel like Kristin is like nylon-ish to me. But whatever. I mean, whatever. I think she's going to win. That's my prediction.
With Nastasia, the only thing that I have, because I think that she should win, and I think Nastasia is a gorgeous girl and a great model. The only thing is when it comes to watching the show and watching the editing, like a lot of times what I've found is that they'll focus throughout the season on the person who's going to win. And the only reason why I think that she's not going to win is because they really have not shown her personality.
True.
And the top model, usually who wins, is somebody you feel like you know, and you feel like at the end of it, you get a sense of who she is. And we still don't know who Nastasia is. And I would have thought that by now, if she was going to be the winner, we would have seen more of her personality.
So who do you think's going to be the winner?
I actually think that the top ones are going to, I think Nastasia might make it towards the end, like top two. But I don't know. I go back and forth between Laura and Leila because they've really been focusing a lot on Laura.
But who do you like the best, though?
Well, we're asking who do I think is going to win. I mean, who do I like? Okay, I like Nastasia, and I think she should win. But I don't see Leila winning. I see her kind of crumbling. I don't see her winning. I see Laura just because they've really put a lot of focus on her throughout the entire show. Okay. And so I think she's going to be top two or winner, definitely up there.
How about you, Brittany? You're a Leila, too, with me?
I'm a Leila just because I don't necessarily like her personality more, but if we're going to really go on who's really works, I mean, let's face it, top model has chosen people that you would just, you're like, they don't even do anything. I think Leila will work. I mean, she is definitely high fashion. And she will, for about modeling, she's the model. She is the one.
Yep.
Jackie?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll say is I think Leila is the comeback story, but then they have her coming up next week with the whole horseback riding drama. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. And they are coming into favor of Kiara. Like, she might have this run of the end now where she comes in strong. You never know.
Right. And they have been focusing on her a lot the whole season. Kiara is definitely one of the ones they always kind of turn to. And she could.
The cards are falling in her favor right now.
Weird about this, I go back to I don't know if you can feel this way as well. I normally have like a real true favorite. Like, I'm talking about like Die Hard. This person better win, or I'm never watching the show. I don't feel this way at all about this season.
I totally agree.
But I don't.
I totally 100% agree because every other season there's usually one or two girls that like I'm gung for. I want them to win. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But this season it's like a toss up.
I'm with you a little on that too.
I mean, it's just kind of like, all right. I feel like I'm not going to be really upset if whoever wins or whoever loses.
Exactly. Well, we'll see.
Yes, we will, guys, and I can't wait to get back with you all next week with our next eliminated contestant, and then for the finale. Crazy, it's almost here.
Crazy time.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Lauren, Alikona, Erika, Brittany, everybody from calling in wherever you are, and we will all see you guys next week.
All right. See you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.